What comes to mind when you picture your dream vacation or your perfect getaway? In most cases, positive and cheerful thoughts are popping into your head. Maybe you're already getting excited for a vacation that you're taking in the future, or maybe you're thinking of words such as relaxing, enjoyable, adventurous, or priceless. You may even be imagining your destination, such as the beach, a camping trip, or even a cruise. Words like dangerous, tragic, heartbroken, and devastation are most likely not at the top of your list. This is the list of words that multiple news stations and various articles use to describe the vacation of Chloe Wigand and her family. Today I'm here to inform you about the accident that occurred on a cruise ship that led to the death of 1-year-old Chloe Wigand. Knowing the facts about the court case and the tragedy itself can help prevent future tragedies such as this from occurring. Throughout the last couple weeks, I have done extensive research on this situation and read through the many news articles and videos that were published as a result of this incident. In order to check the accuracy and recognize any bias, it is necessary to know the general facts of the circumstances that led to her death. Multiple articles and news reports will be analyzed in order to compare the facts that each is presenting. We will first investigate the accident and look at the facts that each article has in common in order to get the general idea. Chloe Wigand, an 18-month-old, was on a cruise with her family as well as her both sets of grandparents when a devastating event took her life. The toddler's grandfather was supervising her on the 11th floor of a Royal Caribbean cruise. The two were together in the H2O Zone Children's Water Park, according to Crime Online. Salvatore Anello, Chloe's grandfather, is seen on grainy camera footage following Chloe over to the window before lifting her up and holding her out the window for a longer period of time before he ended up dropping her to her death 150 feet below. The family is suing the cruise line and wanting the safety regulations fixed. There are slight discrepancies in exactly how long he was holding her out the window before he lost his grasp. The case reports that there was not a single adequate indication that this wall of glass panes was not actually a wall of fixed glass panes, otherwise saying that they were moving. This leads to the concern of whether charges of negligent homicide should be charged against the grandfather. The family is asking that the charges be dropped because the court case is simply pouring salt on the open wounds of this grieving family, according to their attorney, Michael Winkleman, and ABC News. This tragedy led to many individuals who criticized the entire situation and used their minimal knowledge to judge somebody else's life. The bias in the articles was either in favor of the grandfather or in favor of the cruise line and the regulations that they already have set. A few of the articles were discreet in who they sided with, and a few were vividly in support of one or the other. ABC News made it very clear that they were in support of the Wigand family and the grandfather. The author of this article did not place the grandfather at fault. Instead, he used quotes in support of the grandfather. The article used quotes such as, "Everyone knows there was no intent involved," and claims that the charges are appalling and do nothing but re-victimize the family. In order to appeal to the greater audience, Washington Post also used terminology that was in justification of the emotional and tragic aspects of the story. They were able to interview the grandfather, hoping to get his side of the story. And at one point during his interview, he appeared to be overcome with emotion as he cried about the death of Chloe. One article in particular placed direct blame on the grandfather in order to use it for their website. This article was Crime Online, so had they not claimed that it was the grandfather's fault, they wouldn't have been able to publish the article as a crime that would deserve punishment. The article used words such as reckless and irresponsible to describe the grandfather's actions. It also states that the grandfather had previously leaned out the window, insinuating that he knew the window was open when he picked her up to hold her out the window. The family of Chloe Wigand is left with devastating consequences of a terrible accident. Chloe fell to her death on July 7, 2019. The cruise ship was forced to look into their safety regulations and thoroughly examined by the proper authorities. The entire family and many individuals who were following this story were shocked to find out that the grandfather would soon be arrested. Whether or not this was considered negligent homicide will be determined by the court case. As for the family, the charges against Salvatore Anello is salt in their already open and painful wound. They are more focused on raising awareness and correcting the safety regulations of the cruise ships so that this tragedy could never happen again. The question will remain as to whether or not the grandfather was lying about the tragedy.